welcome to Making Gold in ESO. This is episode 5 now, and in this episode we're going to not be hoarders, pretty much. Just touching on a few things that are worth quite a bit of gold that we seem to come by quite easily, but we just ignore them. Things that just accumulate in our gear bags or on our tunes, in our banks, in our crafting bag, and we just ignore them, and then slowly they build up. And this episode is about knowing which ones are worth a bit of gold, and basically making you aware of, hey, check all the gear that you got, because some of it is worth a bit of gold. Now, this is recording this first week in 2017. ESO patch 13 or whatever they're calling it is live on the PTS, and it's got a bit of stuff happening in there, along with the main thing is player housing. Now there's rumours that in-game gold is going to be something that's going to help us to build and to buy things for the house. So yep, I'm really keen to get out there and make some gold and get a few million under my belt in order to buy all that good stuff. So it'd be a good opportunity for you guys as well. So if we just have a little look, if we go into our gear bag, so this is your inventory, and this is your gear bag. You do have to be an ESO Plus member to have the gear bag, but like I said, generally all the other stuff will accumulate on your tunes, or in your bank, on mule tunes perhaps. So now I've been doing writs pretty hard, been buying up some cheap mats, some farmers have been supplying me, and I've been refining and selling a lot, and I've accumulated quite a lot of stuff. I was flicking through this just before the video, and quite surprised at how quickly it's all come together, because it was only about 2 months ago that I'd gone through and pretty much sold everything. I'm not saying you're going to have 64 tampering alloy in your gear bag, like I'm not expecting you to. You may have more, who knows, but that's not the main thing. Like, all the main thing is these ores. So I've just leveled this tune. This is a new tune I've leveled along with the new Life Festival, the good XP buff, and in the process I got a lot of lower ores. Now these are definitely not to be overlooked. Dwarven ingots here, 1200 per 100, steel 1000, ebon, a big one, 1900, it was 2k. So what have I got? I've got 4 grand sitting there in gold, so these are things to look out for. Now admittedly some of these have come in shipment crates from writs, so not all of them have come from leveling this new tomb, but some of it has. And that's the same across the board through woodworking, clothing and blacksmithing. So you're going to get all these low level mats, and you'll never use thick leather, I'm not going to use 170 of that. So just get rid of it, guys. Don't hoard, don't be one of those people. Definitely going to keep some of this up our sleeve. If you want to make a new set, new tune, definitely keep that. But cotton, what are we going to use that for? Nothing. Of course, we're going to sell it. 1800, look at that. Beautiful. And a couple other things here I want to really touch on is alchemy. Now, I have been buying from farmers, and as you can see I've got quite a bit of stock here, so I will be crafting up some goodies to sell there for gold. But yeah, just keep an eye on your levels on your herbs, because it doesn't take long for them to get up, and as we know, herbs are a good source of gold. Don't pass that up. If we just go to potion solvents, I just want to point out that some of the lower level solvents here are worth quite a bit. So if I just scroll across some of them, if you get 100 of these, that's 3.5 grand. They can be worth quite a fair bit. And obviously the end ones are the highest level, are the most sought after, obviously. But don't pass these up as you're grinding a tune, you're farming. You get a few of these, definitely sell them. Definitely. Same with enchanting. I was actually quite disgusted with myself the number of these I must have forgotten to sell these. And they're all worth something. Like, admittedly, they're not worth squillions or squillions, but you know, what have I got there? 4 grand sitting right there. It's just I just have not gotten around to selling them, and obviously Rapora, wherever it's gone, somewhere here. There we go. So you know that one there is worth 350 a hit. So I can't I can't, I can't use that many, so I'll just have to sell them. Same again with the essence. Some of these can be worth quite a fair bit to dairy. Not as much as what they used to be, admittedly. There's a good one. That's health, I'm pretty sure. And over here, so don't dismiss Rakuta. You know, like, oh, it's not worth much, but you know, 9 grand for 100. I've got 10 grand sitting there. You know, and I don't very rarely use a purple. You know, keep 10 of them for yourself by all means. 52 CUDA. I don't expect you to have 52 CUDA, but definitely if you don't use CUDA, if you're like, oh no, I'm never going to use that, or you get too many of them, sell them. You know, so I at the moment I'm crafting endgame high level enchantments, ruins, and yeah, so I'm selling those. They're not worth much, these ones, but still, you know, just 200 there. There's 2,000 sitting there, and I'm not doing anything with them. So I've got to tell myself, don't be a hoarder, get rid of them. Provisioning, it's the same here. I was a little bit surprised with this ethereal dust. I'd seen it in chat. I didn't realise I had 2. I don't even know where on earth I got them from. Someone tell me. I don't even know where they come from, but I've got 2 of them. That was a big shock, and hopefully when you look through your kit you'll find some of this, and yeah, surprisingly. Some of the food things here to look out for that are worth quite a bit and are quite easy to get actually is garlic. So it's 14 gold a hit, so that's 1400 for 100 of them. So as you can see, I've got 268 there. It's worth a bit. Another one is small game, 1100 a hit. Tomatoes, yeah, 1000 for a stack. Potatoes is another one, that's 1100. Honey is another one, it's 1000. Was it cheese? Yeah, cheese is 1000. So some foods are worth quite a bit. Bananas, wow, bananas, 1100, almost 1200. You know, others obviously are worthless, but generally some of them are like fish, nothing. That's because everyone farms it for the perfect row. This stuff here. But don't, you know, you might have, like me, I'm sitting on a couple of hundred of these. I'm not even going to use them. I could sell 200 of them, not a problem at all. Another thing is bait. 1100, so I'm sitting on 6,000 right here. Worms, crawlers are worthless. I have to sell those. But I'm not a fisherman. Why am I keeping these? I don't know. I just overlook them. I don't remember that they're there, and I don't look for them. So that's sort of what this video is about. Rummage through your stuff. Don't hoard it. Just sell it. You know, you're not going to use it. Just sell it on. In the stole materials, there's a few here. Now, obviously, there's some rare stuff in here. The likes of, you know, the lion fang, the dragon scuttle, whatever it is. Like some of that stuff, I'm not expecting you to have a lot of it, and even I don't. But there's stuff in here that generally everyone's going to have that it's worth a bit. Now that's the L'Oreal's. 128, you know, that's 12, that's almost 13,000 for 100 of these. So a fair bit of gold. And De-Ager hearts, I could not get over how many of these I had. I've got 440 of them, and they're 5,000 for 100 of them. You know, it's 20 grand right there. I didn't know I had that many. And another one, if you're a dungeon diver and you white gold tower and what's the other one, Imperial City Prison, you're going to get charcoal of remorse. Now, yes, you do want to keep a few to craft with, you know, you like your styles, etc, etc, but 116 of them I'm not going to use. And even if you've got 30 of them, you know what the whole set is 7. You're not going to use it, you know. So get rid of them, and that they're worth a good amount of gold, and they do accumulate quite easily. and you will get them. So the three here that are worth a bit that everyone generally has access to, and that's Charcoal Remorse, the Diager Hearts, and L'Oreal's. So keep an eye on them. They're definitely worth selling. Now over at the traits, of all things traits, you're thinking, oh, there's nothing in here. There's nothing in here that's worth anything. I mean, obviously you've got your Nern, which is I craft into items for research. That's how I make gold through them. But everything else, you go, just dump it. No, there's two in here that are really worth keeping and selling. And again, I didn't realize how many of them I had. And there's two training traits. So we got here. This one here makes a training trait for weapons. And it's worth a cool 3,400 per 100. And the training trait for the emerald, which is worth a whopping 7,000 gold for 100 of them. So as you can see, I've got 557 of them. So these two were very surprising for me. So definitely keep an eye on those two. And like I said, I very rarely ever craft in training. It's only when I'm leveling a toon. Most of my crafting is sharpened, which is worth still $1,000 a stack, which is not bad at all. So sharpened and divines. Divines is worth 1,600. There's sitting on some gold there. Just keep that in mind. Don't overlook these, and definitely don't vendor them. If you're refining and you get this in your inventory, if you don't have the bag, it'll go into your inventory. And if you get it in your inventory, like, oh no, I don't want that, and I sell it on, no, don't. Just keep it, and you'll learn to know which ones to keep, and it's all worth something, guys. So that's the key here. You don't have to be hardcore farmer. You don't have to be a hardcore flipper. You just sell what comes along. And it all adds up. Trust me. I've been there. So that's pretty much in the traits there. And that's pretty much all it. So the moral of this video is short and sweet. I feel a bit lazy making this video because I'm not really showing you too much. But just don't be a hoarder. As you get it in, sell it, and don't mess around. If it's not important to you, it is worth a bit of gold, don't sell it for ridiculous amounts. If it's worth 1,000 gold per 100, don't sell it for 1,200. So come back the other way, come back to 900, something like that, to push it on a bit quick. So it's not sitting there taking up a guild store space. So guys, that's pretty much the end of making gold in ESO. Some of the episodes I felt were a little bit rushed for my part. I didn't go too in depth with them, but definitely showed you how the ins and outs of each style of making gold. It's important to know that items and methods in the farming and what items and where to farm them is going to change through patches, but the core principle is the same through every patch. Find what people are after and then farm it or supply it. Now, like I said, this is the very last episode in making gold in ESO. I've had fun making it. Thank you very much if you've followed it every episode through. Definitely appreciate it. Leave a like if you did enjoy it, and as for other videos in the future, I'll probably concentrate on uploading a few dungeon videos, tanking, DPS, healers. I have them all. I hopefully get some vet trials in there as well, but I am open to suggestions, guys. So if there's something you want to see, or if you're interested in one of the builds you see me running, by all means just hit us up in chat, and I'll definitely make a video covering CP, gear, rotation, etc. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and cheers.